And Jimmy Rollins hitting has to be a big-time mystery to the Phillies right now. Chuck Merriweather, 18-year veteran, has the plate. Rookie umpire Damian Beal at first. Mike Riley, the crew chief, and Laz Diaz and Debbie Taylor. Because it is a doubleheader, if you're a home plate umpire, you don't get to work 2 games today.
That's right. So the game 1 umpire, Chuck Merriweather, will have game 2 off. The home plate umpire in game 2, Eric Cooper, will be off for this one. And Damian Beal, who was called up from the minors, he'll work the bases in both games and then return to the minor leagues tomorrow. That note, of course, coming from Javier Castro, the outstanding clubhouse attendant in the national side.
Thank you, Debbie. And that's the way it is with the Umpires Union now. If you work home plate on a doubleheader day, that is the easy fly ball off the bat of Shane Victorino. Raul Ibanez, although Nationals fans would be excused for doing so. Those are Raul's you're hearing from the Philly fans. Of course, when he starts going bad, then they'll boo him too. But he's not going bad. He's going real good, hitting .352, 7th in the league, 5th in homers and top 8 in RBIs.
Well, he spent so much time in the American League trying to chase down breaking balls and change ups, and now he's getting a nice dose of fastballs where he sits in the lineup.
That ball ripped to straightaway center field. Willie Harris is after it, and Ibanez has done it again. Somebody find Chase Utley and put him back in the 3-hole. I never thought I'd say that, but this guy is killing the Nationals this year. Olsen gives up his 6th homer, and the Phillies are on the board.
Well, that's not a bad thing, though, for Scott Olsen right there. The first home run he's given up to a left-hander this year. All 5 came off the bats of righties so far, but right there, Willie Harris giving it a heck of a try. You see the Exmo catching him walking up the wall. Beautiful job.
Here's Ryan Howard.
But that ball leaving the ballpark, because to me, fastballs to those guys in front of Ryan Howard makes them very happy.
Willie had no chance. That ball short hopped the batting cage where they stored out there in center field. Fastball upstairs to Howard, who hit a home run in almost the identical spot last night. That was a breaking ball that was up, but Howard couldn't get it, and the count's even 1-1. He broke an 0 for 15 with that home run last night.
Well, there's Northrop Grumman pitch track. You see the breaking ball, and that's what we got him out on last night until Joe Beimel tried to throw one up high. Did not know he was 0 for 15, and then he broke that streak on that home run.
Another breaking ball, a good one from Olsen. Phillies strike quickly.
You might want to put something cold on that.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Okay. No, you don't need. We don't.
Go to nationals.com.
Nationals coming up, third in the league at 277. Only the Mets and the Dodgers at 291 have higher batting averages. And the Nats will probably catch the Dodgers sometime soon. Ryan Zimmerman, he's done very well against Brett Myers in his career. Right now, Ryan is the 5th leading hitter in the league at 362. But he leads the league in hits and total bases. Guess who's right behind him? Raul Ibanez. And so here's Myers, 9-9 with 4 career saves against the Nats. And of course, that goes back to the Montreal days as well. Guzman steps out and it last night, and he's hit safely in 11 of his last 12 games. On the corner, Myers sporting a 4 ERA. Phillies have defended and hit their way around some really bad pitching this year. Their team ERA is second worst in the league to the Nats at 5.33. Charlie Manuel's team got over the 500 mark last night. They're 2 games back of the Mets, who won again in San Francisco last evening. David Wright had 4 RBIs. Ooh, breaking ball just missed inside. Count goes full. Firestone is a tradition of innovation. Guzman doesn't have enough at bats. Well, yes, he does now. He's at the top of the league. He just made it last night, pardon me. So he is leading the league in hitting, but he'll be retired here by Eric Butler.
PNC scouting report coming up now on Brett Myers. 6 of those 7 starts this year, he's gone 6 innings or more. He's very tough to score on. Runners in scoring position. Batters only hitting .205 off of Brett this year, and he is happy to say bye-bye to April. 8 homers left stadiums in April off of Brett, only 2 so far in May.
The Phillies have given up 56 home runs this year. They've hit 46. The Nats actually have a +6 in that department, hitting 42 and giving up 37. Well, it was 6, now it's 5. And here's Nick Johnson, who has 7 hits and 3 walks in his last 3 games. Two and 3 hitters who complement each other very well. Johnson and Zimmerman, line drive guys.
Back on April 29th, when Myers faced Olson, Brett lost 4-1. And Olson's only win of the season. 3 earned runs in 6 innings on 8 hits.
Nick Johnson drives this ball to left center. Victorino got a great jump. 2 outs. Phillies are the best team statistically in the league. They've only made 11 errors in 33 games. Only 1 error in their outfield, one by Ibanez. Phillies and Rollins 2, just about everybody else perfect. Here's Ryan Zimmerman hitting .362. 54 hits, 91 total bases. Both of those figures tops in the National League. And after last night, he's hit safely in 32 of 34 games. RBI total of 27 has him just out of the top 10. He never has minded hitting against the Phillies. He said home runs at their ballpark to every field there is. Opposite field last year in a ball game earlier this year, center field and left field upper deck in the same game. And this ballpark is much different, plays bigger. 2-1 to Ryan. He drives that one to right center. See you later. Nationals on the board, and that's number 9 for Zimmerman. Talk about using the ballpark. using the park and losing the ball.
Two-one fastball right here, up and away. Ryan Zimmerman loses it up and away. Check out that ball going out to right center, Bob. Doesn't it sound nice when you hit it perfect?
That ball was about 10 or 12 rows up. He was flirting with the second deck on an opposite field hit, which we've never seen any hitter do here. And here's Adam Dunn. He's visited the upper tank a few times out there. Strike one to him. Dunn without a homer over his last 4 games. But his batting average still very good at .303 on base average, 5th best in the league. Ryan Zimmerman is on some amazing run right now. So to equal his hitting streak, he'll have to hit in every game between now and the 14th of June. That's how long that streak was.
That's pretty cool.
3-1. Adam Dunn will take a walk if you don't throw him a strike. He's the most walked batter in this league with 31. I'd love to see Brett Myers challenge him here with a 3-1 fastball.
He did, but he kept it low.
He did. Myers' career record 71-62. This is his 181st career start. He's also made 49 relief appearances. Off-speed pitch, and Adam way out ahead. The most walked man in the history of this franchise. A franchise that over the years has featured serious hackers like Vladimir Guerrero and Christian Guzman. Those guys aren't going to walk.
Andre Dawson.
Yeah, the Hawk liked to hack. I don't remember Tim Raines being a leadoff guy who walked a whole lot. He liked to hit his way on. Three-two to Adam, and he fouls off another. So he's seeing just about everything that Brett Myers has here.
Well, and the sad reality for our pitching staff, we've been walked 149 times. We've walked opponents 154 times.
I would have thought it was a wider disparity. 3-2 again. Adam strikes out. 35th strikeout on the year, but Ryan Zimmerman goes deep to right center. Major League service. How about StubHub, official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace on Nationals.com. Upcoming schedule, Phillies tonight and tomorrow, and then the Pittsburgh Pirates will be here Monday. Pirates got off to a great start this year, led the league in ERA for over a month, and they have really struggled lately. One and one from Olson to Jason Worth. Right-handed batter hitting .276. Nats play him straight away. Wow, he's really done well against Scott Olson. 7 of those hits and 2 of them home runs. Olson gets a borderline call on a pitch tailing away right on the corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Changeup. Pedro Feliz. He hurt the Nats last night. And a 3-2. Changed up on him. This one jacked dead center, and it's a home run derby right now at Nationals Park. Olson rocked by Ibanez and Worth, and the Phillies lead 2-1. In this start, Scott Olson is spending less time nibbling, and the Phillies are hitting him hard.
Well, the league came into today hitting .329 off Scott Olson right there. 3-2 first pitch was a changeup, came back with a 3-2 fastball, and Jason Worth greeted him with a home run. So like you said, Worth coming into that at bat had been hitting .438 off of Scott Olson with 2 homers. Now he's hitting over .438 with 3 homers.
And that is not the pitching coach. This is the manager on this visit to the mound. Sounded like a home run, didn't it?
Yeah, he hit it well.
Phillies have now hit 47 home runs. That ties Milwaukee for the top number in the league. So, Rob, let me pose a question to you here. Scott Olson's last outing in Arizona, he spent a lot of time nibbling around the plate, high pitch count. Today he's trying to challenge guys. How do you do that without having them hit you hard like they are right now?
Well, Ibanez, obviously he came in hitting him pretty well, 3 for 5 off the first time he faced him, and he lit him up with the fastball. But on Worth, that fastball was on the inner half. You want to just stay away from him with fastballs. Make him beat you to right field. Even Brett Myers challenged Zimmerman with a fastball, but he threw it away. Zimmerman made the adjustment and hit a home run to right center field. So if the guy beats you, you got to tip your hat.
Right.
But you don't want to throw it on the inner half where he can pull you and get extension, and that's what Worth did. And let's check out the pitch location right here. It's supposed to be down and away. It fades back over the plate, and Jason Worth says thanks for the 3-2 fastball. It's all about location.
Chris Coast, the hitter, batting .220. He filled in capably while Carlos Ruiz was gone, and now that Ruiz is back, he's really hitting well. I'm sure we'll see him in the nightcap. They probably want the veteran catcher Ruiz handling the young pitcher Andrew Carpenter tonight, who will be making his first major league start. He has pitched an inning in the big leagues in relief. And this ball in the air to the right side. Hernandez out until called off, and that's the way you're supposed to play it. And Adam Dunn was there to tell him to peel away. 2 outs. Get your red on tomorrow. Family Fun Day. Pre-game player autographs. After the game, the kids run the bases. First 10,000, 12 and under, receive a free drawstring jersey backpack from our friends at Smithfield. 888-632-NETS. Visit nationals.com. We got a chance to see that item last night, as you did on our graphic there. It's really neat. Resembles a Nationals home jersey, and is a great item for the kids. They'll be able to use that at the pool and outings all summer long. Routine fly ball. A lot of balls in the air here. 2 of them have left the yard. Jason's worth.
World Series championship, which makes me wonder, when is President Obama going to come to Nationals Park and throw out the first pitch so we can add his picture here? But Bob and Rob, better yet, let's get Michelle to do it.
Well, you know, those Chicago people, they really know their baseball. I wonder if Michelle's a South Sider like Barack. He's a White Sox guy.
I don't know. I think Michelle graduated Harvard and a couple other colleges.
Oh, don't tell me she's a Red Sox fan.
Very smart lady.
Bottom of the second. That's a great hall of presidents the Nationals have. That's the hallway that comes from the tunnel right into the President's Club. And photographs of presidents throwing out first pitches all the way back into the early part of the 1900s. Really a neat display. I would have to say that George W. probably had the best form out there.
Didn't he practice, though? I heard he went underneath and warmed up.
Well, he was the only one, I think, that went all the way up to the pitching rubber and got it right home. His father was a good baseball player at Yale. There's Josh Willingham. Bottom of the second is underway. 2-1 Phillies. That's a good breaking ball by Myers. It just caught the right front edge of the plate before it veered outside. This is perfect location here. When we say corner, ball. That's what we mean.
Great breaking ball in the outer half.
Then he runs the fastball back and gets Willingham looking. That is good command right there. Next up will be Josh Bard. How about some presidents throwing out pitches?
They used to do it from the stands.
Yeah. There's FDR. I don't know about the follow through there. LBJ. And Mr. Bush with Frank Robinson. Now there's a guy who knew how to throw a pitch. Oh, I couldn't tell when we cut back to live action right there.
Oh, it's Brett Myers.
It's President Myers.
She did grow up on the south side of Chicago. She graduated from Princeton University and Harvard Law.
Wow. Probably didn't have time for baseball. Smart lady. And a little pop-up from Bard. Left side for Pedro Feliz. With my history serves me correctly, Jimmy Carter is the only recent president who did not throw out a first pitch. And of course, with baseball being gone for a while, some of that took place elsewhere. And the bases are empty, 2 outs for Willie Harris. Willie's big hit last night kept the Nats alive into the 12th inning after he doubled with 2 outs in the 9th. Military night on Masson HD this evening. Game 2 at 7 o'clock. We're celebrating Armed Forces Day, and in our own way here on Masson, we will celebrate our military tonight. And a 2-0. Willie taking all the way, and he's worked the count 3-0. Anderson Hernandez next here in the bottom of the second. Phillies have won 4 of the first 6 meetings between the clubs this year. 2 of 3 here. This game makes up for the second home game that was rained out. That rainout was on April 15th. So Willie Harris is aboard with 2 outs. See if Anderson Hernandez can get things going again. He's still hitting .327 over his last 13 games, but his batting average has dropped a bit. He's been hitting the ball in the air. He tried to bunt last night for a hit that ball in the air, and last night he was 0 for 5. Nevertheless, good numbers by a guy hitting 8th in your order. And you'd love to see him get aboard here to give Scott Olson a chance to swing the bat in this inning.
It was an interesting walk to Willie Harris. He had not had a hit in 13 chances off of Myers and 3 walks. It's the 4th walk in 14 at bats.
Nationals do not run much. Willie Harris 1 for 1, but the Nats are only 13 of 21. And part of that is Elijah Dukes being picked off 4 times. And another time thrown out at third. So not many steals and not a very good percentage. Of course, there might have been other times when guys were on first base thinking about running, and the next thing they knew, they were in their home run trot with a batter right behind them. The Nationals have scored a great percentage of their runs this year with the home run. That's upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Interesting number I saw today about the Nationals' ERA at home and on the road. It's a 2-run difference. So they're much more competitive in this ballpark with their pitching. The Nats are 5-8 at home. You take away that heartbreaking weekend when they could have swept Florida, but instead were swept. It could be a whole different story with this 1-loss record. 2-2.
There's the pitch tracks. You see that sinking fastball sinking a little too fast right at the end, out of the zone.
He got the call. Instead of 3-1, it's 2-2. And Hernandez will slam that one off the catcher's mask. Some other ball games underway. Houston at Chicago. Oswalt and Marshall. Good pitching matchup at Wrigley. Milwaukee is at St. Louis. They were rained out last night like the Astros and Cubs were. Suppan and Wainwright in that game. Those rainouts last night were not rescheduled today as part of day-night doubleheaders because those are teams within their divisions and they can make it up later with plenty of time to do that. But hard to believe here in May, this is the Phillies' second last visit here. And then on the next road trip, the Nationals will go back to New York and Philadelphia. Two and two to Hernandez. Harris started, then stopped, and that's a one-hopper to the pitcher. Nationals gone in the second. Stranded.
The first of two today. Now the score is 2-1, and the Nationals are trailing. And Manny Actis said before the game that it is very important for Scott Olson to give the team innings today. After all, the relievers pitched 6 1/3 innings last night. He also said that Kip Wells is not available today, but the rest of the guys should be good to go.
31 pitches in 2 innings. He had 13 his first inning. Took him 8 to get through the second. And in the National League, if you handle this right, this can be a one-batter breather at the bottom of the order with the opposing pitcher. Myers, 3 for 13 this year, a 120 career batter with 10 RBIs, so he's been able to handle the bat at times. Had him reaching. Zimmerman thought about cutting it off, a little bit too far for his reach, and Guzman throws out the pitcher. 4 straight now for Olson since the Jason Worth home run, and Jimmy Rollins now coming in. This whole pitch count thing's just getting a little stranger every year, Rob. I mean, you look at Brett Myers today. He's pitched 2 innings, given up only 2 base runners, and he's at 43 pitches for 2 innings. A home run and a walk. 2 other strikeouts. But it just seems to me that there are very few pitchers in Major League Baseball who know how to get hitters out quickly anymore.
I think you make a great point. A lot of guys are going deeper and deeper into counts because they're trying to pitch away from contact. They're so afraid of the ball leaving the park. And, you know, it's not like the hitters are raising their average to 400 or 500 during the season. They're still, you know, failing 7 out of 10 times, more than 7 out of 10 times. It's just, I think the pitchers don't want to throw inside anymore. They definitely don't want to work ahead. I mean, that's the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Just get that first strike in there and you can do so many good things after that.
Well, case in point, Chase Utley, who was on base 4 times last night, but he didn't get any hits. There's a broken bat, and that ball flares out into center. So you make a good pitch. But the barrels of these bats are so big these days, so heavily weighted down toward that end of the bat. The guy gets a base hit while the thing breaks in half.
Oh, this is the Exmo swing right here, and it's a very good pitch on the outer half of the plate, right off the end of the bat. And that's enough to just snap it off right in Jimmy's hands, and he gets a single.
Jimmy Rollins stole a base here last night. He's 3 for 5 this year and 2 stolen bases away from 300 career. Shane Victorino flied out to Adam Dunn in right field. The conditions have changed here now. The sun is blazing brightly from right behind home plate. That ball will go right out to center field. Scott Olson jammed Victorino, and he gets a base hit. Look out here, Ibanez.
It's the location of that last pitch. It's a cutter on the inner half. Victorino just jam shot up the middle. We got something working here. First and second with 1 out. Raul Ibanez now against Scott Olson, 4 for 6.
Home run straightaway center field first time. When that happens, Guzman to the bag, there either has to be a throw or a step off. Good block by Josh Bard.
Here's Josh Bard doing his best to keep the ball in front right there. You see him lean forward, get the body in front. Hope he gets a good ricochet back in front of him.
Rollins jockeying around out there. You can fake a throw to second as long as you're off the rubber.
Right? As long as you're off the rubber, but like you said, you don't want to have the shortstop breaking towards the base and then you throw to home plate because there's a huge gaping hole to the left side of the infield. Always play defense first.
Breaking ball on the corner, good one by Olson. Jimmy Rollins at times in his career has been one of those arrogant base stealers who will dare you and then he'll try to steal third. But if you look at all the great ones like Maury Wills and Lou Brock and Ricky Henderson, they had that sense of arrogance to them. Everybody knew they were going, and it sure didn't stop them. Jimmy doesn't steal as frequently as he used to. Now that time Guzman was at the bag. Rollins was picked off, but Olson pitched home, and that's what Josh Bard is going to talk to him about. Had he stepped off, there was a chance here.
Well, right here, Christian Guzman, he sees Jimmy Rollins taking off, and he goes to the bag, and then Scott Olson delivers the ball. You cannot do that as a pitcher.
And you know what Ibanez was thinking.
Well, and you want to make sure that you're on the same page with your shortstop. If you have a play on, have some kind of signal. Okay, yeah, I go to my belt or I tip my hat, but you have some kind of signal worked out.
Ibanez does it again. The Nationals are simply going to have to stop pitching to this guy. But how can you do that with men on base? 2 for 2 today with 4 RBIs. In his last 3 at-bats, he's driven in 6 runs.
Ibanez is just killing our left-handed pitchers. And there's ball 1 in the dirt. Big breaking ball. Big breaking ball right there. He fouls it off. He looks bad on the breaking balls, and then he throws him a fastball up and in. Got to question the pitch selection there. If a guy looks terrible on your breaking ball away, you don't come in with a fastball, because he's going to recognize the rotation, and he's going to say thank you very much.
The Nationals are getting killed on inside fastballs to power hitters.
Home run leaders right there. Ibanez, we're helping him move up the list.
5-1 Phillies. And today, Olson can't keep the ball in the park. 1 out here. Howard the hitter.
I'll say it again. If you're going to get beat, get beat to the opposite field. If the guy can take your breaking ball down and away, out to left field, I'll tip my hat to him up here. It's just not going to happen.
10th multi-homer game of Ibanez's career. First time he's done it this year. Players would say he is sick right now. He's so hot. You know, and I know the bullpen has taken its share of lumps lately and its share of criticism. But other than Chiron Martis, nobody's pitching very deep into ball games lately. The starting pitching has to share some of this.
I thought John Lannon did a great job with the middle of the order yesterday. And so what? The bottom of the order beat you? So be it. You know, you take your lumps at the top and the bottom of the order, but not the 3, 4, 5 guys who killed us in the last series. Ryan Howard was not touching breaking balls down and away. And I would do the same thing to Ibanez. Down and away until the guy makes an adjustment and hits it that way.
The 1 through 5 hitters had 1 hit against John Lannon last night. And then after he got pulled in the 6th, it took 2 pitchers to get the final out. 1 ball to 1 strike to Jason Worth.
But I've never seen left-handed hitting pound left-handed pitching this much. You have to, if you're going to establish that fastball, run it up in there. But geez,
nothing cheap about the hits at the moment. Maybe with the exception of Jimmy Rollins' broken bat single. But as I mentioned last night, Phillies have been striking out lately, but these 2 games they've been getting the bat on the ball.
Well, he makes contact right there. He's out in front of the changeup, and he just hits it enough. Saws off the bat and breaks it off at the end of the bat.
In the first inning, there was a visit from the manager. This inning, a visit from the pitching coach. Go to MassonSports.com. Send us your question to Ask About the Nats. And if your question is, how do we stop this? We're not really sure about the answer. Pedro Feliz fouls one out of play right side.
Well, if you're a Scott Olson, you pitch to your strengths. He's got a very good breaking ball and a good changeup. And you throw that breaking ball down and into righties, down and away to lefties, and you bust the guys in with your fastball and then changeups away from the right-handed hitters to try to get ground balls. But he's not doing that.
Scott Olson pitched nearly 202 innings for the Marlins last year. This year in 6 starts, he's pitched 36 innings coming into this one. He would have to make 33 to 34 starts at this pace to reach 200 innings. Pedro Feliz outstanding with runners in scoring position. That's second best in the league. He's 13 for his last 23 in situations like this, and for some reason he takes a fastball right over the plate.
He got caught guessing.
2 outs.
He was looking for a changeup down and away. He was going to try to, I think, flip it into right field. He gets a fastball in, and he just can't pull the trigger.
Chris Coast, the catcher.
Another fastball in. Nice combo.
ball's into right field on the ground. Coming around third, the big man Howard, and he will not challenge Austin Kern's arm. And the Phillies have the bases loaded with 2 outs. I was just looking back through the scorebook. Martis went 7 innings Wednesday in San Francisco. There have been 2 other 6-inning outings, but over the last, well, since the road trip started, which is now 10 games ago, the Nationals have had 1 pitcher go beyond 6.
And Josh Bard on that last hit right there at the bottom of the order, 0-2, trying to get the ball down and in on the breaking ball, and Olsen threw it down and or up and away on the breaking ball, and Coast hit it to right field, and not even very well, but it was just not a good location on an 0-2 pitch.
And pardon me on the Kearns call. Adam Dunn charged the ball well, got it back in a hurry. And the Phillies are up by 4. They don't want their big guy in a collision at home plate, although I wouldn't want to be Josh Bard either.
No,
on that play.
You're giving away a few LBs to Ryan Howard, who's a freight train coming.
Eric Bruntlett, the 9th Philly to bat in this inning. That's a good fastball to the outside corner.
The one thing I always had was a feel for where I wanted my pitches to end up. And what I mean is I visualized putting my slider down and away from a righty. So even if he did hit it, he'd pull it on the ground or he hit it on the ground. I don't know if our guys visualize their pitches before they throw them. I'm not talking about meditating. I'm just talking about you should be able at this point in your career be able to feel where you're releasing the ball from and where it's ending up. And when you make a mistake as a pitcher, you have to make an adjustment and come back and say, I didn't release it at the right point. An Exmo delivery on Scott Olsen right here. He's got very nice form, nice bounce right there. Comes back. See him turn the glove over, pull it in, right over the front foot. Got that straight up and down finish, but he's still got great torque.
And this one out to left center. Josh Willingham is there. 9 Phillies bat. They get 3 on the big bomb by Raul. On the lead here. Get your red on and come out Tuesday. Nats and Pirates at 7:05. First 10,000 fans get a free Washington Script t-shirt. 888-632-NATS, nationals.com. And just come on down to the ballpark, buy a ticket, grab a shirt, and come on in. The script Washington featured prominently on the Nats road uniforms this year. And Scott Olson will lead off in the bottom of the third. Turning into a nice sunny day here on South Capitol Street. But with this warmer, muggier weather, that ball is really carrying too. Olson on the year 0 for 7, 155 career batter. And that'll be it for that at bat. Two o'clock in our nation's capital. Beautiful day shaping up here in Nationals Park. But it's all Phillies right now because of the long ball. 5-1. Rob Dibble, Debbie Taylor, Bob Carpenter here with you. First of two today. 7 o'clock tonight. Daniel Cabrera goes for the Nats. And the way he's been struggling, a loss here could make this a really difficult weekend. Haven't really talked much about Sunday. That'll be Jordan Zimmerman and Chan-Ho Park. Grayson Guzman is 1 for 7 in this series.
This looks like a little cut fastball right here. Breaks a little bit below the pitch track.
Fair ball. 2 outs. And it'll be Nick Johnson here in the third. Your bats aren't going to be loud every day like the Nationals have. On those days, you have to pitch well or you have no shot.
Well, occasionally you're going to have to throw a shutout or only give up 1 run through 6 or 7. It puts way too much pressure on the offense every day trying to chase down. You're behind 4 again.
Well, 2 days in a row in Arizona, Rob. 5-4 win, 2-1 win. You look at that and say, okay, this is baseball. This is the way you're supposed to go. And then it was bombs away on Sunday. Myers working quickly here. And Nick Johnson will pop one up to center, and Myers is going to have a real short third inning, about 9 pitches, exactly what he needed. Ibanez, he's been amazing.
Well, and Bobby's putting on a clinic. If you don't locate your pitches well on a guy like Raul Ibanez and you keep trying to challenge this guy with fastballs in, he's going to kill you. And right now we're not making him uncomfortable at the plate. We're throwing him a lot of fastballs up and in. That's just a bad hanging breaking ball. But you saw Josh Bard way outside. I mean, he's a foot off the plate, and Scott Olson misses location so terribly. It's up in the middle of the plate in the hitting zone. And Raul Ibanez is just happy to be facing Scott Olson today in the first half of this doubleheader because he's already having an amazing day, and he's only gone 2 at-bats through 3 innings.
Red Myers lines out to the shortstop Guzman to start the top of the 4th. .65 pitches, 45 strikes through 3 innings for Scott Olson. Can there be too many strikes in a pitch count?
Never. Never. And the thing about strikes is, remember about the visualization. You're trying to get guys to make contact with your pitch. So if you're throwing a changeup away to a righty, you just want that. You want a ground ball. You don't have to throw 8 pitches to every hitter to try to get an out. You know, Greg Maddux would go 9 innings. He'd throw 77 pitches. And every year that he was in the major leagues, he led the major leagues in fewest pitches per start. That's pitching. That's making the hitters do what you want him to do, not just trying to get outs. That's not pitching. That's throwing.
You might wonder if a guy like Maddux, say, was 18 years old coming out of high school and was 5'11" and 178 pounds and threw 86, would the scouts even give him a look? Because that's not what teams are looking for anymore.
No, but I played against him in the minor leagues. He threw in low to mid-90s. But when he got to the major leagues, he had some really good teachers. Rick Sutcliffe was one of them that taught him to slow things down and manipulate the strike zone. And he threw a lot of two-seam fastballs that, with practice and repetition, he made into an amazing moving fastball that he could throw in the lefty batter's box and move it back over the strike zone to a righty and induce ground balls. And, you know, righties eventually had to start swinging at that early in the count, and he got a lot more ground balls. Thus, he'd have 5-pitch innings, 7-pitch innings, and that's what you're shooting for. You want to be economical so you have something left to spare the 3rd or 4th time through the order in about the 6th or 7th inning. Our guys are out of gas by the 5th inning. And I think it's you expel way too much, you know, effort, and all of our guys are like maximum effort, you know, on 110 pitches.
Jimmy Rollins walks.
110 pitches would have been about 11 innings for Greg Maddux.
Right now, 74 pitches, 3 1/3 for Scott Olson. It looks like he's not going to come anywhere near what Manny had hoped he would do in the first game. I mean, he's on a pace for about 5 innings here. Here's Shane Victorino, who singled up the middle last time. Olson took a long look at Rollins, who just strolled back to the bag before the throw came.
Well, that's a huge problem for us because we have a guy that averages about 5 innings per start in game 2 in Daniel Cabrera.
Shane Victorino 1 for 2. And 3 for 9 in this series. Olson gets the inside corner. Corey Hart has hit his 4th homer of the year. And in the 4th inning at St. Louis, Milwaukee leads 1-0. The Mets are throwing Johan Santana later today against Randy Johnson in San Francisco. Nice matchup there after the Nats pounded Randy Johnson the other night. There goes Rollins. He's picked off. Nick's throw. Guzman out at second. Been a bit of a cat and mouse game between Olson and Rollins, and that time Scott stayed relaxed, did not panic, and calmly got him picked off.
And we've been having trouble with this, even though we've been picking off some guys. Right there, Scott Olson picks him off. You see Nick Johnson step to the inside, throw the ball to the inside to Christian Guzman for the tag out at second.
What a great play by Zimmerman.
Great recovery.
That ball took a far. He goes battery powered to try to get a W today, but it ain't going to happen. That's our Geico President's Race for today. Well, it was a three-man race anyway.
Oh, George W. won the race.
The original George W.
Yes, sir.
Ryan Zimmerman, Nats only run, Nats only hit, a right center field home run with 2 outs back in the first that tied the game at that point. Classic opposite field power swing. And he's making amazing contact.
Number 9 on the season.
This is way too early, but I do invoke the name of Andre Dawson as an MVP who played on a last place team. Howard makes a good pick to his right. A long underhand toss to Myers. Ryan Zimmerman is not an easy out these days.
The right fielder, number 44, Adam Dunn.
Adam Dunn is next. And Brett Myers drops down a breaking ball on him, 76 miles per hour. The Nats may need this big fella to get a hold of one and jack one out of here to get some energy back in the ballpark. And that'll be a little flare out beyond second base. That's the third baseman, Pedro Phillies, out there on the shift. 2 outs. Willingham coming up. Joe Mauer and Mark Teixeira have traded home runs. And at home, the Yankees lead the Twins 3-2. White Sox have an early run at Toronto against the first place Blue Jays. The Red Sox have lost 3 in a row over in the AL East, and Toronto has a 2-game lead there. That ball well hit by Willingham. See you later. Josh Willingham with his 6th homer of the year, and 5 of them have come in the last 9 games. Well, maybe it's Willingham who wakes things up. Remember, the Nats were down 6-0 at LA when he homered, and that ignited a comeback win.
Well, Josh came in hitting .375 off of Myers, 16 at bats, 6 hits, and a home run, 4 driven in, and he now has 2 home runs and 18 at bats against him.
Yeah, he's got some kind of power.
Yes, he does. We need to get him in the lineup a little bit more. More repetitions. I think we're going to see more numbers, more big numbers.
If I came to the ballpark early and went to the left field seats when the center field gate opens, Josh Willingham's the one BP guy I would really have a glove on for. He puts on some amazing power displays before the game. So that's 6 homers for Josh, 69 in his career, and the 0-2 strikes out Josh Bard. The Nats have 2 runs today on solos by But the story of this day, Zimmerman and Willingham, I meant to say, the story of the day is Ibanez. Lead the league in homers and RBIs and not make the All-Star team in the last 60 years. Ryan Howard's done it. Who else? Now, do injuries count or just
no? I think somebody just
chosen?
Didn't make it.
Ibanez with a little chopper. Nick Johnson. And Ibanez is going so well, it takes a bad hop on Nick. You get him out and he's still on base.
Well, you make a great pitch right here. Way outside on him. He just hits a 58 dribbler right there that hits a pebble, and everything going the Phillies' way today. Look at that last hop. Hit something there.
You know,
I think Ryan Howard left a huge divot right there.
I would offer to you that you could give him a hit on that.
Yeah.
It's a bad hop single.
It is.
But a scorer will look at how slowly the ball was hit and automatically call it an error.
That was going to be a tough play anyway. He was going to have to grab it and go for the bag. It hit something there. You can see it change direction and jump over his glove. And Nick is a pretty good fielder.
Just because a ball isn't hit that hard doesn't mean it cannot be a hit.
I couldn't
That
agree
was
with
a
you more.
bad hop single.
Sometimes you'll hit a little flare and it should be caught and the guy misses it totally. That's a hit. You know, doesn't hit leather.
Right through the shift. It's going to be another stressful inning for Scott Olson. 2 on, nobody out. Jason Worth coming up.
How do you think Manny feels?
But if somebody would have told me after the Nats made that trade, getting Olson and Willingham from the Marlins, that Josh Willingham would be hitting around 200, and I think he has an excuse. He hasn't been in there every day. But that Scott Olson would have an ERA of over 7, I would have refused to believe that. Willingham is still getting sporadic playing time and producing from a power standpoint big time for the amount he's had. He's had 65 at bats and hit 6 home runs. But right now Scott Olson has to be a bit of a mystery to the Nats. The Nats just scored to make it a 3-run game. Olson trying to keep it that way. Well off the plate inside to Worth. He's 2 for 2.
That's a good 0-2 pitch.
That's right.
Rock him back. They'll throw him the changeup down and away. Came back in. And he changed his eye level too, which is something that I like. I mean, we saw it with Chiron Martis. Up, down, in, out. All over the place, making guys rock all over the place. And he threw 2 hits through 7 innings to the Giants.
1-2 delivery. There's the off-speed pitch away. Maybe got it up more than he wanted to.
Yeah, he can't be afraid to pull that breaking ball down hard and even throw it 59 feet.
Another ball rocked up the middle. Ibanez will score, and now it's 6-2. That's an unearned run because of the error. And Jason Worth is having a big day like Ibanez.
Well, this is just bad location again. It's supposed to be down and away. It's right over the heart of the plate, middle in. You just can't throw pitches like that to a good hitting team. And right now they're just feasting on the bad location. Use that changeup, throw it down in the dirt to righties.
Let's check in with Debbie Taylor.
Well, Phillies pitcher Jamie Moyer is going to honor Cal Ripken Jr. through his foundation next week for his work as a humanitarian. Meanwhile, the Cal Ripken Senior Collegiate All-Stars will host the Valley League All-Stars in the Mid-Atlantic Classic on July 15th at Regency Furniture Stadium in Waldorf. Now come out and catch where these stars of tomorrow, like Nats prospect Marcus Jones and Dee Brown, launch their careers or see all the live action on Masson HD. Game time is 7:05, but come out early for the Home Run Derby at 5:30. Admission is free, but your donation will be greatly appreciated. Be sure to log on to ripkencollegebaseball.org. That's ripkenseniorcollegebaseball.org for more information.
Thank you, Debbie. Pedro Feliz, the hitter. He's 0 for 2. 2 on, nobody out here in the 5th.
Garrett Mock, 2-to-1 hitter last night. So he might be the strongest reliever we have right now.
There will not be many situational one-batter appearances today. Anderson Hernandez using his bare hand to shield his eyes from the sun. When you're running out that way like he was, it's pretty hard to take your left arm and bring it around your head while you're running to use your glove as a shield. He did that very well.
He did do that very well. No shades right there. You see him shade the sun. Great job going over the shoulder.
Here's Chris Coast. He jacks one to left. Willingham back and over. That ball was scalded. 2 outs. And Maniac, of course, will have a decision to make in the bottom of this inning. The fact that Mock is warming up would indicate that Olson will not hit when his spot comes up third. But this will be a hard day for Manny or Charlie Manuel to mix and match relievers, say a lefty against a left-handed hitter. Some of that got done last night, and then at the end of the game, the Nats had no pitchers left, and the Phillies had one. And they had to jerk tonight's starter, J.A. Happ, to do that. Here's Eric Brundtland, who's flied out to center and to left.
We may be going to an 8-man bullpen sooner than later.
And that's going to mean one less position player. We were told the Phillies designated for assignment Miguel Cairo today to make room for tonight's starter Andrew Carpenter. I didn't know you had to do that, or if you did, I figured they could do that after this game. But evidently Cairo is already off their bench. One of the Phillies guys told me that they did that. And there's the inning over as an emergency. Last night, he's in the lineup today because Elijah Dukes on a fly ball by Jason Worth last night that was caught by Adam Dunn, pulled up lame with a hamstring right there.
Yeah, you see him slow up early, but then he grabs right for it. There's a hamstring attachment behind the knee that can give you problems from time to time, and as you said, he's had a lot of problems with his knees over the years.
Fastball upstairs to Willie. Anderson Hernandez to follow. If these two hitters are retired, I wonder if Manny would consider leaving Olson in to bat and pitch another inning. He's thrown 94 pitches. I see Alex Cintron with a bat down there. 2 balls and a strike. But if anybody gets on base, I think that'll answer that question. There's Alex wearing that number 13. You get somebody on base here at this stage of the game and you're down by 4, you got to go for offense, especially the way this team has been battling back. Every out the Nats have left is an opportunity to score. Anderson Hernandez is next. Base runners apply within, and there's one. The Nats get a leadoff walk. Willie Harris has walked twice today. Let's talk about guys who've led the league in big offensive categories like homers and RBIs and not make the All-Star team in the last 60 years. Ryan Howard. Hank Sauer of the 48 Reds. And a ground ball to second. Bruntlett gets the lead runner on the fielder's choice. So Scott Olson done for the day. 94 pitches, 66 strikes. He'll pitch 5 innings and give up 6 runs, 5 earned on 9 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, 3 home runs. Cintron pinch hit last night, lined out to second. And if you don't pay attention, somebody will swipe 90 feet on you. Anderson Hernandez with his 3rd stolen base of the year. And if the Nationals pick up a hit here, that will irritate Charlie Manuel. His team was paying no heed to a fast base runner. And a breaking ball served in the left, and there's the base hit. The ball eats up Ibanez, but with 1 out, down by 4, you've got to be conservative on the bases, especially with the top of your order coming up. And Alex Cintron delivers his 2nd pinch hit this week, so he's starting to show some signs of life off that bench. In a closer ball game, Ibanez might have challenged that ball. So Garrett Mock will be the Nats' new pitcher now in the 6th, no matter what. Big spot for Guzman here. He's 1 for 8 in this series and takes one over but low. Nats get a couple of hits here. The Philly bullpen phone could start ringing. Guzman with a hot shot. Bruntlett's going to turn that into a double play. Well, they bat Ibanez in the lineup for Utley. In the field, it's Bruntlett. Some Topps baseball cards there for you. Some action shots of your Nats. How you doing? Nice day to have the family down at the ballpark. Early game on a Saturday. I'm sure some of the folks will take to the streets, grab a bite, and maybe a cold beverage somewhere. Come on back and join us at 7 o'clock tonight for the regularly scheduled game. Here's Garrett Mock to take on the Phillies in the 6th. Mock's 12th game, trying to get that ERA down. And Garrett has had control issues at times. Not a big strikeout guy, though he throws hard. But he's walked 6 batters in 9 2/3 while striking out 5.
Well, last night he came in. First pitch was a breaking ball for a ball. Second pitch was a fastball that he gave up a single.
So would that be pitching backwards for a guy like him?
Yeah, he needs to establish the fastball. He's a reliever. You know, if you're going to get beat with your best pitch, which is his heater. And here's try to establish it and get ahead with it.
And here you're facing the opposing pitcher. Fastball right in there.
92.
Phillies with a busy box score. Just look for number 3 spot Ibanez, number 6 spot Worth, and you'll see most of their offense. Myers puts a bat on it, slicing foul.
A little conflicted there.
Yeah. Well, we know who the better half
Phillies
is.
And
swinging a foul ball. Hope she doesn't cook a bad meal. He'll boo her. Phillies fans, they are unique. They have passion, unmatched.
he swung.
That's a swing. The ball hit the mask of Bard and stayed close. You can hear the click. And Garrett Mock strikes out his first batter. Top of the order, Jimmy Rollins and Shane Victorino. Chrissy from Falls Church would like to know about the bubble gum. I would say that the bubble gum is supplied by the respective clubhouse managers.
I would agree, but they also get it from the company. So say Bazooka or Bubble Yum or whoever they're featuring in their clubhouses, I'm sure they work it out. The fact that they're in there, they get a certain supply.
I think clubhouse manager, whether you're handling the home team or the visiting team, is one of the most fascinating jobs in sport. They make sure the guys are well dressed, the uniforms are clean, the shoes are cleaned after every game. And they got to make sure in this day and age you're wearing the right uniform for that particular day, because so many teams have different unis. You can never send a player on the field looking like that. Bases empty, 2 outs with Victorino, but you have to feed them. In many cases, players will have a lot of their personal things taken care of by the clubhouse guys, like sending their clothes out to the laundry. And
especially, say, Mike Wallace here with the Nationals. He's the head equipment manager for the Nationals. You know, they do other stuff like, you know, pick wives and girlfriends up from the airport, things like that. Work a lot for tips.
But of course, we can't find Mike Wallace Well, let's see if the Nats can get back into the ball game here. Johnson, Zimmerman, and Dunn, bottom of the 6th. The Nats are down by 4. Screech is popular.
We need a rally screech.
Yeah.
Angels have the rally monkey. We have the rally screech.
Can he turn that cap around? Nick Johnson has flied to center field twice today. And Brett Myers has only given up 3 hits. Homers by Zimmerman, Willingham, and a base hit by Alex Cintron. Phillies lead 6-2, bottom 6. Lots of time for the Nats to get back into this one. And that's a breaking ball, low and inside, 2-0. Nationals box score rolls by. There's a locked in hitter. Waiting next. It would be nice to see Nick on base here. Late for that one. 2-1. Oh, he dropped an off-speed pitch on him. Brett Myers has had good command today. He's walked a couple. Neither hurt him. And pitching to contact for the most part with just 4 strikeouts.
Now he's starting to feel quite comfortable.
And he had Nick Johnson's timing completely thrown off in that at bat because of that 2-2 or that 2-1 pitch.
Yeah, he was able to take something off of this strikeout pitch too. Look at that big breaking ball. Outer half.
So here's Ryan Zimmerman. He's hit the ball hard twice today with an opposite field homer. And he also hit the ball hard to Ryan Howard last time up.
It's amazing what a comfortable lead will do for a pitcher. All of a sudden he can kind of rest easy and think about what he's going to throw 3 pitches from now.
Yeah, and on a day when he had pretty good command to begin with.
Right.
Ryan, that's how strong he is. He hit that ball out on the end of the bat and still hit it about 370 feet. 2 outs.
Oh, and then, you know, you can challenge guys first pitch to get ahead with a fastball, and right there you see Zimmerman lace it, but he got under it just a bit and he flies out. There's the Exmo swing on Mr. Zimmerman. Just on the outer half of the bat.
You know, that is an amazing camera.
Yep. You can see the bat bending.
Yeah,
against the ball.
You saw a little quiver on the bat there.
Yep.
As the ball made contact.
There's Jeff. What's up, Jeff? Jeff, go to the other side of the field. Get some of our lefties.
If he moves that thing, we'll have to take out an insurance policy. Not on Jeff.
But we want to get Nick Johnson and Dunn and some of our lefties from the other side. But no, they do a great job. 500 frames per second, that camera shows us.
Adam Dunn 0 for 2. But Brett Myers really has hitters timing off. And the left-handers haven't done much damage today. Nick Johnson 0 for 3. Dunn 0 for 2. The switch hitter Bard 0 for 2. The switch hitter Hernandez 0 for 2. And Willie Harris, he has walked twice.
No, our offense has been Zimmerman and Willingham today.
With 1 base hit by Alex Cintron, another switch hitter in a pinch hitting role. 2-2 to Adam Dunn. He offered, he's gone. 6 strikeouts for Myers. His offense Coming into a season with the Phillies, he was a .286 career hitter with 182 homers. But, Rob, he drove in over 100 for a very mediocre Seattle ball club last year.
Well, and if you're going to make pitches like that, Raul Ibanez is going to make you pay. And you see the 2 home runs today. Bad location. 1 down and away, but he still gets to cover the plate, and he gets full extension, and then the fastball up and in. And he really got full extension on that one. You can't let Ibanez stretch those arms out. So if you're going to pitch him in, get it way in.
Garrett Mock, another inning here. Top of the 7th, fastball up and away. So Ibanez now has 11 home runs, 32 RBIs. And that puts him tied with Prince Fielder for 3rd in the league behind Albert Pujols and Jorge Cantu. Considering the fact that Ibanez has hit the ball straight away and pulled it against the Nats, if you look where Willie Harris is playing, it would appear obvious to you that you want to pitch him away. But the Nats haven't been able to do that. And he was ripping on that one. 93 on the heater, and the count's 2-2. Ryan Howard's had a walk and a single today. At the time, Garrett Mock changed speeds on him and had him way out ahead. Another base hit. He is unstoppable. Ladies' Night presented by Hard Times Cafe. June 4th against the Giants. There's a rooftop pregame party that starts at 4:30. Players will make some appearances. Complimentary massage, manicure, product sample, food, beverage, much more. Jewelry, handbag, and cosmetic vendors will be on site for your shopping pleasure. All-inclusive happy hour, game tickets, and it's all only $30 for the ladies. Nationals.com/ladies night or 202-640-7646 for more information. Debbie Taylor will be doing a seminar on how to work with difficult men. Not the players, Dibble and Carpenter, basically. We love our Debbie. And a bouncing ball to the right side. That's Hernandez to Zimmerman, and Ryan turns the double play. He loves doing that when the shift is on. That will be a 4-5-3 double play.
Well, Garrett Mock is doing a great job today in this mop-up role, and it's something that I'm sure will get him some more work down the road. And right there, and Ryan Howard to hit to the 4-5-3 double play.
And of course, Ryan Zimmerman, well documented, played shortstop at UVA. He loves turning those, and it's bases empty, 2 outs now. And the hitter Jason Worth, who's had a big day as well, 3 for 3, a homer, 2 RBIs. Quite a ball game going on in St. Louis right now. Top of the 7th, Jeff Suppan throwing a 1-0 shutout. And at Wrigley Field, Sean Marshall's doing the same thing to Roy Oswalt and the Astros. Air must be heavy in the Midwest from all that rain they've had. Pedro Feliz is next. 2-1 to Jason Worth. Those are the only other 2 National League games in progress. And a 1-hopper to Zimmerman. Ryan will plant near the bag and gut it out. Brett Myers is in position to pitch very deep into this game today. Coming out for his 7th inning of work. That little guy just wants to have some more cotton candy. That's okay. No time for the camera, Dad. Sorry. But Myers, that's his 90th pitch as he goes to work here in the 7th. Josh Willingham 1 for 2 with a home run. And a breaking ball that he's way out ahead of. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jesus Colome had a rough debut last night in a close ball game. The Nats led 4-3 when he came in. By the time that inning was over, the Nats trailed 6-4.
Yeah, he left 1st and 3rd without retiring a batter.
Those guys don't miss fastballs there, do they? That's way up there. We haven't seen too many balls reach the red seats up there where the railing is. So what, about 10 rows of seats, and then above there where the seats are a little more sporadic, kind of an area where you can spread out and enjoy some food. And Josh put one up there, and I don't really remember seeing more than 1 or 2 up there, right underneath the red porch.
Well, the Hammer's a big, strong young man.
He is.
Give him some more at bats. I'm sure those numbers will climb, just like Will Nieves. Seen his numbers climb since Jesus Flores got injured.
I mean, Josh Willingham is homering right now every 10 at bats. His career recently has been, and this is a pretty good pace as he strikes out on a breaking ball. Last year he homered every 22 at bats. Couldn't reach that one. That was nasty from Brett Myers. This is the kind of hook Myers was throwing, Rob, when he was a 2-pitch closer.
Well, yeah, and right now when you're ahead by 4 late in the ball game, you get ahead with the fastball and you put guys away with your best pitch of the day, which happens to be that great breaking ball.
Man, he's wanted nothing to do with Willie Harris, who's on deck. And here's Josh Bard 0 for 2.
Which is interesting because Willie was 0 for 13 coming into today against Brett. He's walked him twice.
Brett Myers must have looked at Willie's numbers from last year.
I think he looked at that double off of Lidge last night.
Yeah, that's true. I better do something different. Josh Bard, a .265 career hitter. His 8th year in the big leagues. Nationals optioned him to Syracuse April 20th. He hit a .175 down there and recalled yesterday with Jesus Flores going on the DL. Bard's got some pop in that bat. Hit .338 for the Padres in 93 games 3 years ago, and then .285 the year after that when he hit .406 with runners in scoring position. Interesting, he was in Boston for just 7 games in '06 after going there in a 7-player deal, and they really needed somebody who could handle Tim Wakefield, so they got Doug Mirabelli back from the Padres. And Josh is well out ahead of that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
If we can try and get Myers out of the game, got a shot here. He seems to be on a roll with that breaking ball. 7 pitches right here by Josh Bard. Good at bat. And I'm up to 102 pitches now.
And a 2-2. A kid named Micah Hoffpower has just homered for the Cubs to give them a 3-0 lead over Roy Oswalt and the Astros after 6 at Wrigley Field. Cubs have some injury issues to Ramirez, and Derek Lee has a neck that's bugging him, so they're getting some new faces in there to help out. And Bard has turned this into a good battle. Top of the hour here at Nationals Park in our nation's capital. It's all Phillies, 6-2. They've driven in 5 runs today with homers from Ibanez, 2 of them, and Jason Worth. The Nats only runs on homers. Bard hits a slow roller to Ryan Howard. To the pitcher, 2 outs. Family Fun Pack back. All Sunday games like tomorrow, you can sit in the upper right field terrace for $14 or reserve seats on either side of the ballpark for $25. You get a hot dog, non-alcoholic drink, and chips. A minimum 2 tickets per purchase. Bring the family out early. Pre-game autographs. Stay for the kids running the bases after the game. 888-632-NATS or nationals.com. Willie Harris, 2 plate appearances and 2 walks. Willie's walked 8 times this year and struck out 6. Colomé still working, looking to the 8th. Willie very late there. And the Nats go in order. They've only had 3 hits all day. Myers has been masterful, leading. That Exmo is something that you've had a lot of fun with.
I love the Exmo. It shows so much of what the athletes do and how they can rotate the ball and how the guys hit it, how much torque they put on it, the bat moves, and you can see the bat actually bending. So 500 frames per second, money well spent.
Still working on our make announcers look younger technology.
Yeah, high definition TV is not going to make us look any younger or any prettier, but we're working on it. That's what makeup's for.
Hit. And Guzman in the hole, and he's got Pedro Feliz. And I know what Manny Ecta's thinking here as he sends out Garrett Mock for another inning. Mock will probably be unavailable tonight, but if the guy can get you pretty much through the rest of the game after your starter only goes 5, that's a good thing.
It's the type of game where someone's going to have to suck it up for a lot of work, and it could be Garrett Mock.
Well, he's done quite well. No runs on one hit.
Absolutely.
A strikeout and a double play so far.
Get the ERA down, get the stock up with the manager and the pitching coach, and then go ice in game 2.
Yeah, relievers have a hard time getting their ERAs down because they seldom pitch more than 1 inning. In Garrett's case, a chance to get 9 outs here. Colomé was warming up in case the Nationals got down to the number 9 spot in the batting order, which they will in the 8th. And here's Chris Coast on a 1-1 pitch. Coast is 1 for 3 today. He's hit the ball sharply twice. How about 3 times? And that ball's going gapping. One hopping the wall at the bullpen, picked up by Willingham. And Chris Coast in that number 7 spot has had a really good day. And of course, Rob, not to be forgotten, he's the catcher guiding Brett Myers through a very good game today.
Well, yeah, and it's very nice. He was doing all the catching while Carlos Ruiz was out, but now that Carlos is back, he's the everyday catcher. Coast gets out there, getting a few at bats. He launches that fastball off the wall on 1 hop, but like you said, the thing he's done so well today is the 3-hit, 2-run performance by Brett Myers through 7 innings.
Brett Myers is in the on-deck circle here with number 8 man Eric Bruntlett coming up. Ryan Madsen, in a non-save situation, could be pitching the 9th. Or the 8th. Eric Bruntlett 0 for 3. He turned a really good double play back in the 5th inning when the Nationals had Guzman with 2 men on, hitting the ball sharply. That could have changed the game had that play not been made. Man, that's a hitter handcuffed.
Ouch.
By the way, the Nationals have now given up 27 hits in these 2 games.
Up here, Bob.
And the 0-1 to Bruntlett coming. Handcuffed again.
Nice running fastball, though, by Garrett Mock. And sometimes it's nice to stretch a reliever out. You do it in spring training. Give him 2 or 3 innings, a couple days in a row. Stretch that arm out. Find that release point. Get some confidence.
Then he overmatches him with a hook. Mock with the bare hand, fires to Nick Johnson, who makes a good grab for the 2nd out. Johnny and Ray are having a long day here at the ballpark, just like we are. Verizon Fios presents Nats Extra postgame. Y. Olson labored and gave up 3 home runs. Ray will break it down. Zimmerman keeps on rolling. Ryan with a home run today. Got a preview game 2 of the doubleheader with an interesting pitching scenario. A rookie pitcher for the Phillies, a struggling pitcher for the Nats. Here's Matt Stairs. And Brett Myers is done.
Like we'll see Ryan Madsen.
Yep. Ryan Madsen might be their best relief pitcher at the moment.
I would second that. He's got the best stuff right now. I still think there's something wrong with Bradley's knee. He's just not right. And I think Charlie Manuel showed us last night he's willing to win every game right now to try to get back up there in the standings. He used his starter for the 2nd game today, J.A. Happ, to try to preserve the victory last night.
Yeah. And I think what Charlie was doing there, when you're playing a 4-game weekend series, all these games bunch into a short time frame. I mean, let's face it, it's 48 hours from the time you throw the first pitch Friday till you're on the plane or the bus on Sunday. That's a lot of baseball for 2 full days, and he knew how important it was to win the first game of this series. It enabled him to rest Chase Utley in this game. Ibanez bumped up to number 3. He's had a huge day. Get a little playing time for your backup catcher and your backup infielder Bruntlett. So the old grinder knew what he was doing when he went after that one with everything he had last night.
They like the room service. Look at that, 6.6 runs per game on the road versus a little less than 5 at home.
You know, and we stay in a lot of the same hotels they do.
They play in a hitter's ballpark.
That's something. Top of the order now. Jimmy Rollins as Mott walks stairs.
Well, right now you got 2 outs. Make it a great outing. Finish up strong right here and go attack Jimmy Rollins.
Rollins 1 for 3 with a base hit, a walk.
You know,
he gets the call near the outside corner.
Former reliever, you don't want to have to make Ron Vallone pitch in this game if you can help it. Maybe let Colomé do the 9th inning, but you don't want to make Ron Vallone come out here for an inning or a third of an inning. If you could save him for the nightcap. Got ahead with the first pitch fastball, then he comes back with a nice outside sinking changeup.
Pretty liberal strike zone here in the 8th inning. So Jimmy knows if it's close, he has to hack. Shane Victorino on deck.
And you see Garrett Mock now is able to get to his 3rd and 4th pitch like a starter because he's faced so many Phillies here in the last few innings.
Oh, 2 pitch again.
Throw that same pitch.
Well, he tried to get up and in on him. Jimmy Rollins drives in coast. Stairs goes to 3rd, and the Phillies now have a 5-run lead. The count, yes, was 0-2.
1-2. When he missed with the 0-2 breaking ball, but then he comes back with a fastball up and in, and Jimmy Rollins says thanks a lot for not throwing another breaking ball.
The Nationals have now given up 219 runs while scoring 178. More than a run a game different.
And 178's got to be up there with the league leaders.
Nationals started the day in the top 6. But they've given up the most runs in the league. And now at 219 runs given up.
Are we all by ourselves in the major leagues?
Yeah, even except for Cleveland and Baltimore, 214 and 216 respectively. Neither of them had good nights last night. Orioles lost to Zach Greinke, and you don't have to give up 6 or 7 to lose that game.
We're what, at 219 now?
3rd worst in the majors. Your manager can't manage. Everything is survival mode.
You can't defend walks.
You know, Manny can't set up his bullpen to have the guys he wants to in proper positions. You can't make defensive changes late in the game because you're behind. You got to leave certain guys in the lineup. There's a ball served up the middle. Guzman flips to second safe, and it's 8-2.
This is going to be the only play for Christian Guzman right here. A off balance backhand. But the very fast Jimmy Rollins was in there easily.
And a big breaking ball for a strike to Raul Ibanez, who's now hitting .364. He and Ryan Zimmerman might be leading the league by the end of this weekend. He drives it to left. Didn't get it though. Willingham catches it. That's probably a home run in Philadelphia. But we're 2 hours south. 8-2 Phils. Raul Ibanez unstoppable. Ryan Zimmerman, home run, first time up today, and Brett Myers in line for his third win of the year if Madsen and the bullpen for the Phillies take care of the last 6 outs. So it's the bottom of the 8th. There's Ryan Madsen, who came on last night and pitched a scoreless inning and a third at a key point in the ball game. He got the ball to Brad Lidge, who failed to get the save. Big guy, 6'6", 200. 17th appearance and a 2.16 ERA. Any ERA these days, it starts with a 2, phenomenal. Hernandez very late for that fastball. Ronnie Belliard is next. He will be hitting for Garrett Mock, who gave up 2 runs in his 3 innings. We thought he might get a scoreless thing going there. Well hit by Anderson up the middle, and he's 1 for 3.
Well, Madsen's really flourished, though, Bob, since they stopped trying to make him a starter. Back in '06, he had 17 starts, and he got hammered. 134 innings pitched, besides pitching out of the bullpen. 176 hits, 20 home runs, and a .57 earned run average. When they just said, okay, you're in the bullpen, since that time, his ERA has never been over 3.05.
Wow.
And he seems to be getting stronger as he just stays in that setup role.
Some guys, and I think one of them is sitting next to me, are not programmed to sit around for 4 days in between their appearances. Guys like Rob Dibble and evidently Ryan Madsen like coming to the ballpark every day knowing you might have a chance to pitch and help your team win a game. So what was that like for you?
I dwelled. I was a big dweller. I dwell upon the negative and a bad outing, and those 4 days were just an eternity. And as a reliever, you can have a short memory because you can pitch 24 hours after a bad outing and get rid of the bad outing mentally.
Yeah. I heard that in very funny fashion a couple of weeks ago when the Cardinals were here. Al Raboski was on the radio show before the game with Charlie Slows. And the way he worded it was funny. He said, relievers have to remember that you have to have a short memory.
You do, because, you know, you're put in a lot of positions to fail. Bases loaded, no outs in the 7th inning. You're up a run, down a run, whatever. I mean, you're put in so many tough situations that when you do fail, you have to say, okay, that's the percentages, and they get paid also to get hits off of you.
Great swing by Ronnie Belliard, who goes the other way. Hernandez cruising for third. Worth launches the throw, and the Nats have runners at the corners with nobody out.
Well, this is that national spirit that we've had from day one this season. No matter how many runs we're down, we fight until the final out. Right there, fastball away. Ronnie Belliard smokes it to right field.
That's a great hitting approach in this situation by Ronnie Belliard. Now the top of the order is coming up.
Well, and with Madsen, he doesn't throw 98. He throws in the low to mid 90s, and he's got an amazing slider. So you try to subtract the slider and say, I probably can't hit that, and if I do, I'm going to get a ground out. So you want to just look fastball off this guy, and if you get that one pitch, you can't waste any time. You got to put it in play.
Down the line, Guzman, and that's unreachable. It'll one-hop the wall, takes a funny hop. That might be enough to get Belliard home, but they won't send him with nobody out. And the Nationals suddenly, out of nowhere, have a rally going. 8-3 ball game, and 2 men on, nobody out. Guzman checks in with his 10th RBI of the year.
Well, like I said, first pitch fastball. Here it comes, 90 on the inner half, and wham. He doesn't waste any time. He jumps all over it. One hops the wall. Second, third, no outs, and only down 5 runs.
Johnson, Zimmerman, Dunn, the next 3 hitters.
Almost looked like a cutter because that ball had a different spin than a fastball.
So what is a pitching coach talking about here?
What are you trying to do? Make me drink? You got a 6-run lead with 3 outs to get. Let's go. He's just giving him a little breather. Saying, all right, go back to your game plan. Go back to your stuff. You're not just throwing bat in practice. So even though Myers had the nice lead, he still was changing speeds and locations, and he was pitching like it was a 1-0 game.
Nick Johnson could make this really interesting.
And Madsen doesn't come in a lot of blowouts one way or another. He comes in a lot of close games where it's a safe situation. So maybe he's just thinking he's a little bit too comfortable. And it's tough. It's tough to tell yourself it's a 1-0 ball game sometimes.
Nick able to pull that bat back, and the count goes to 2-0.
No, our guys aren't biting on the off-speed stuff. They're waiting for dead red.
Nick easily the best net in a situation like this. I mean, that's outrageously good. 7 of 8. And this should be 8 of 9. Ibanez chasing to the corner. Fair ball. Easily scoring is Belliard. It's now 8-4. Ryan Zimmerman coming up. The one thing the Phillies did there by getting an out was keeping Adam Dunn from being the tying run in the on-deck circle.
Well, Nick Johnson did a great job right there. It was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball down and away on a 2-0 count, and he put it in play for an RBI sac fly. But I think our guys have stuck to going after one pitch against Madsen.
Zimmerman to left center. It's going to be an 8-5 game. Ryan Zimmerman's 2 for 4, and RBI number 29. 4 hits in the inning after they had 3 in 7 innings against Brett Myers.
Well, we're going all dead red right here. Another fastball up. Ryan Zimmerman jumps all over it. Even though it's a decent pitcher's pitch, it jams him. He fights it off into the gap. It's an RBI single for his trouble. See Christian Guzman jogging in.
Adam Dunn now 0 for 3 today. 1 swing, and this is a brand new ball game.
Threw him a changeup down and away.
Clay Condrey now for the Phils. Ryan Zimmerman, by the way, with that swing, took over the team RBI lead with 29. Dunn with a slow roller. And Adam beats the relay.
Well, Dunn gets a pitch on the outer half. He tries to pull it, and he puts it on the ground. Nick Johnson does a great job right here, or Zimmerman, excuse me, getting in the way of Rollins.
And that's a strange play for Jimmy Rollins. He was not coming from shortstop. He was coming from up the middle.
Right.
So his throw to first was flat-footed. He had no momentum going, and that's how the shift changes that play. Josh Willingham 1 for 3 with a home run. Nasty right on his hands.
Changeup.
0-2. Last time, situation like this, Myers got him with a hook low and away. Same pitch. Hit out to center. Hit pretty well, but Victorino's there. So the Nats will get 3 runs on 4 hits. O'clock, the Nationals and the Phillies. Chan-Ho Park is going against Jordan Zimmerman. And we'll see. Oh, this is game 2 tonight. Pardon me, Daniel Cabrera. He'll be facing the Phillies in the nightcap of this one this evening. And the Phillies will go with Andrew Carpenter, who's had only 1 inning of Major League experience and will be making his Major League debut tonight. Well, Jesus Colomé, it's very simple. When he walks people, he's bad. When he does it, he's good. When he issues no walks, In his 2 years with the Nationals, he's had an ERA of 2.47. If he walks one or more men per inning, it is 6.12. Fastball in there to Ryan Howard. Howard with a walk and a single today. Hooks one right into the teeth of the shift, caught by Anderson Hernandez in right field. One out, top of the ninth. Jason Worth coming up here at Nationals Park. It's been a beautiful day. Cloudy skies, 72 at game time. The sun has broken through. Bob, Rob, and Debbie with you. First of two. We'll be back with you at 7 o'clock from the booth tonight after Johnny and Ray have Nats Extra prior to the nightcap. And unless something changes, the Phillies will be going for 3 in a row in this series. Jason Worth 3 for 4, a homer, 2 singles, and 2 batted in. The Nats, by the way, in the ninth, Bard, Harris, and Hernandez. Bradledge warming up. That's a good fastball right at the knees.
Bradledge warming up.
Blew his second save of the season here last night.
Which was about 15, 16 hours ago. So, as we talked about, you have to remember to have a short memory.
Yeah.
He's trying to forget last night's fiasco.
Well, you know, I think, Rob, the fact that he's warming up and going to come in here, evidently the Phillies believe he's physically okay.
Well, they have to go on his word. If he says I'm okay, then they have to keep running him out there. They ran him out there to get a world championship last year. Very nice slider right there by Colomé.
Jason Worth was obviously sitting dead red. No fastball.
Now he's a sidewinder. He's a little bit below 3/4, and there you see the whip action. Look at this delivery. Whoosh. Right-handers cannot sit in there very well with the guy who throws a little under 3/4. It makes him very uncomfortable. And the harder you throw, the worse it is on righties.
That was strikeout number 300 of Jesus Colomé's career. Unfortunately, he's walked 208.
That's not a good ratio.
No balls and 1 strike to Pedro Feliz. And a flare to right. Adam Dunn can't get there. Knocks it down to his left. That'll be a double for Pedro Feliz. He just didn't hit it hard enough to be caught.
Here's a great effort by Adam Dunn, playing a little bit deep with a guy throwing this hard on righties. You want to cheat in a little bit. They hit it over your head. It's the pitcher's fault. Can't come up with the play. Want to try to keep it 8-5 right now. Get the offense some kind of chance in the bottom half of the 9th inning.
Yeah, those 2 runs the Phillies got last inning with the 2 out hits by Rollins and Victorino really hurt.
Yes, they did.
The difference in a 1-run game and a possible decisive win for the Phils. That's hard hit. Zimmerman picks it. Man, you had 8 of him out there, you'd be all right. We go to the bottom.
Quality strikes hit him really hard early.
So the Nats need 3 to force this to extra innings and 4 to win. Let's go back upstairs to Bob and to Rob.
Thank you, Johnny Holiday. And Brad Lidge, who gave up 2 runs in the 9th last night, will try to protect a 3-run lead for the Phillies here and achieve his 6th save of the year. The Nats will hit Josh Bard, Willie Harris, and Anderson Hernandez, hoping somebody could get on, and then maybe Austin Kearns could pop one in the number 9 spot. 30 everyday All-Stars to be honored by Major League Baseball and People magazine at the 2009 game in St. Louis this July. And they're looking for those who've made a difference in their community. To nominate, go to peopleallstars.com. Here's Josh Bard 0 for 3 today. Nats need to string some hits together like they did in the 8th. Get your All-Star ballots. Vote here. Is there any more appropriate place in the entire country to vote for anything than Washington?
Good call.
And you better be punching out that third base box next to the Z-Man. Bard reaching. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, it's impossible good news for the Nationals today. Carlos Delgado went on the disabled list finally with that bad hip. So maybe we will miss him when we face the Mets in a little bit.
Heading to New York a week from Monday.
Well, in Brad Lidge's last 6 appearances, he has been scored upon. 9 earned runs in 7 innings.
That's not Lidge-like.
Excuse me, 6 innings, 9 earned runs. A couple of home runs thrown in there, but it's not like him. After he was perfect the entire season last year in saves.
No, says Chuck Merriweather. And Laz Diaz has no swing. 2-2 to Bard. In the air, short right field. Jason Worth. Today's copyrighted telecast, presented by authority of the Washington Nationals, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Familiar story today, possibly enough offense to win a ball game. But the Nationals have given up 220 runs.
Well, we started the day with a 5.5 earned run average as a staff. So that means you have to score 6 to start that day to combat what our staff has been doing this year.
7 of the 8 runs by the Phils earned. Willie Harris 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. Lidge with a good fastball. 94. One of the things that gives you a killer slider is a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, he's probably at the point too, the end of his rope, where he's like, all right, nothing's working. All right, here it is, 3-run lead. I'm going to throw it as hard as I can. See if you can hit it as far as you can.
Well, you can challenge this hitter and the next one. Willie did hit 13 homers last year.
Jams him with a fastball on the hands. But once again, you do the scenario in your head. You're going, well, the next 2 guys take me deep. it's still an 8-7 ball game. And you start playing out the percentages, and that makes it easier for you to choose what pitch you're going to go with.
And that's how you don't walk people, right?
Exactly.
Two to Willie again. Fastball high. Willie Harris got a fastball, pulled it for a base hit. Lidge was not about to walk him, and the Nats have one of the 2 runners they need to at least get the tying run up there.
And Elijah Duke stepping out on deck.
Evidently feeling okay enough to swing the bat. Austin Kearns has been struggling a bit. He's 3 for his last 27. And maybe that's the reason Dukes is on deck. Could be for show, too.
Could be for show. There's nobody up in their pen.
Here's Anderson Hernandez, who got the rally started last inning. Worked the count a little bit, singled up the middle. Later scored on the Guzman double. And with the runner going, Willie Harris just trots into second base. No stolen base given. One and 2 to Anderson Hernandez. Just got a piece of it. You know what he'll be thinking if there are 2 men aboard? And a little chopper back to the pitcher. 2 outs. Elijah Dukes will pinch hit now. Johnny Holliday, Ray Knight waiting out in left center field for Nats Extra, presented by Verizon Fios. If Dukes would get aboard here, say with a base hit, the Nationals might have to pinch run for him with somebody like Wilnie Avis. Let's hope we find out.
Well, that's where I would use a pitcher. If Jordan Zimmerman, who's a decent athlete, or Chiron Martis, that's where you use one of your pitchers that you're not going to throw today.
Fastball outside corner. Jordan Zimmerman pitches tomorrow. And a swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Phillies fans are on their feet. A crowd of 19,910 for this one. Pretty good turnout for a game that was originally unscheduled. And the 0-2 to Dukes. Lidge with a step off. Phillies are trying to go 2 games over 500 and be just a game and a half back of the Mets. Lidge will put away Dukes and the Nats. Eight to 5 the final. The Nationals collect enough runs, enough hits to win a ball game, but they just cannot hold the Phillies or anybody else down for that matter. 8 runs on 14 hits for Philadelphia. They win it 8-5. Join us tonight, 6:30. Johnny and Ray with Nats Extra will be here with you from the booth at 7 o'clock. Visit MassonSports.com for all the latest news on the Nats. This has been a presentation of Masson, and stay tuned. Nats Extra coming up right now for Rob and Debbie, Bob from the booth, and so long for just a while.